The HR manager didn't even look up when she said it. Security will escort you out. We don't accept walk-ins, especially not your type. Her tone was sharp, sharp enough for everyone in the lobby to hear. The black woman she dismissed stood there in silence, calm as still water. She closed her folder slowly and whispered, "Are you sure you want to do this?" The HR manager laughed, a cool, careless laugh, loud enough to echo. She had no idea who she had just humiliated. No clue that the young woman she was trying to kick out was the CEO's daughter, the future heir of the entire company. And by the end of the day, the HR manager would be on her knees, figuratively, not literally, begging to keep the one thing she held onto so arrogantly, her job. But justice had already checked in. This story begins on a bright Monday morning in downtown Atlanta. The skyscrapers glistened against the sun, commuters rushed through crosswalks, and inside a 32-floor corporate tower stood the headquarters of Horizon Tech, one of the fastest-growing tech companies in the country. People called it the company of the future. State-of-the-art systems, diversity banners plastered across every wall. The CEO praised nationwide for innovation. But some places still had shadows, and one of those shadows sat behind a polished glass desk on the 12th floor. Linda Harrow, HR director. Linda had a reputation. Cold, dismissive, selective in ways no policy could put into words, but everyone understood. To certain candidates, she offered coffee, warm smiles, a reassuring tone. To others, she offered a stare that said, "You don't belong here." And on that morning, a young woman walked through the revolving glass doors, bright-eyed, hopeful, and carrying a leather-bound folder, completely unaware that she was about to run headfirst into Linda's world. Her name was Ariana Cole. Black, brilliant, calm, soft-spoken but confident. 27 years old with a master's degree in business analytics, glowing recommendations from professors across the country, and a resume that could open doors anywhere. But she didn't use her full name. She didn't walk in with an entourage. She didn't announce who she was. She wanted to earn her place like everyone else. No shortcuts, no special introductions, just her name and her work. Ariana stepped up to the HR counter, smiled politely, and said, "Hi, I'm here to drop off my resume and inquire about the junior analyst opening." Simple, respectful, but Linda didn't look up. Linda kept typing on her keyboard, loud enough to make a point. She sighed dramatically, finally lifting her eyes. "You can't just walk in," she snapped. "We only process online applications." Ariana nodded. "I submitted one online. I just wanted to follow up in person." "Follow up?" Linda scoffed. "We don't have time for that." A man in a suit standing nearby raised an eyebrow. He could sense the tone. Everyone could. But Linda wasn't done. She looked Ariana up and down, slowly, judgment ally. "Besides, even if we were taking walk-ins, we're looking for someone with a certain presence." Ariana didn't flinch. "My qualifications." "Your type of qualifications doesn't match our culture," Linda cut in. The word type echoed loud enough for two secretaries to freeze mid-walk. Ariana inhaled deeply. Not a sign of weakness, but composure. "Grace, may I speak with someone from hiring management?" Linda leaned back in her chair with a smug smile. "You are speaking to the head of HR." A few people watching shifted uncomfortably. Ariana's voice remained steady. "I'm not sure what I've done to offend you, but—" Linda raised her hand, silencing her. "You know what? I'll make this simple." She snatched a resume from Ariana's folder, skimmed the first page for 2 seconds, then closed it dramatically and pushed it back. "We don't hire people who don't fit our professional environment. And frankly," she paused for effect, "this isn't a place for charity cases." The room went silent. Ariana blinked slowly. She did not cry. She did not shake. She just looked at Linda with an unreadable calm. Then she said the words that made Linda roll her eyes. "Are you sure you want to do this?" Linda laughed. Laughed like this was the funniest thing she'd heard all week. Security was cold. 2 guards stepped forward, not aggressively, but awkwardly, clearly uncomfortable. One said softly to Ariana, "We were told to escort you out." Ariana nodded, gathered her folder, and before leaving said quietly, "Okay, I'll leave, but I won't be going far." Ariana didn't go home. She didn't even leave the building. She walked straight to the private elevator, one the guards didn't stop her from entering because they recognized her. They should have. They saw her every few weeks. But they thought she was just a family relation of someone upstairs. They didn't know the full story. The elevator rose smoothly to the 32nd floor, the executive wing, the heart of the company. She walked past the glass doors, nodded to the receptionist, and stepped into an office lined with awards, tech models, and photographs. Her father looked up from his desk. Henry Cole, CEO, visionary, the man who built Horizon Tech from nothing. "Hey, pumpkin," he smiled, standing to hug her. "How'd it go with HR? Did Linda set you up for the interview slot?" Ariana gave a small, tired smile. "She set something up," she said. He frowned. Something in her tone was wrong. "Ariana, what happened?" She explained everything. Her calm voice, Linda's words, the way she was dismissed, humiliated, judged before she could even speak. Henry listened, every word, not moving. When she finished, he sat back slowly, and for the first time in years, his daughter saw anger burn behind his usually gentle eyes. She said, "Your type?" he repeated quietly. Ariana nodded. Henry pressed a button on his desk. "Get the entire executive board into conference room A. Now, Linda included." The assistant stammered. "Yes, sir? All of them?" "Yes," he said sternly. "In 10 minutes." He looked at Ariana. "You're coming with me." Conference room A was large, modern, and intimidating. Executives shuffled in. Department heads. Managers. Linda walked in last. Still annoyed, still chewing gum, still oblivious. Sir," she said with an exaggerated smile, "I didn't know we were having a diversity meeting today. I could have brought paperwork." Then she saw Ariana and froze. "Oh, huh," Linda muttered. "Why is she here?" Henry didn't sit. He didn't smile. He said, loud enough for every corner of the room to hear, "Linda, meet my daughter." The silence was instant. Linda's gums fell out of her mouth. Her eyes widened, face drained of color. "Why, your daughter," she whispered. Henry stepped closer. "Yes, my daughter, my only child, the one I raised to believe this company stood for fairness, equality, and opportunity." He looked around the room. "Is that what we stand for?" People shifted. No one answered. Henry turned back to Linda. She came for an entry-level interview. Not a handout. Not favoritism. She wanted to earn this. He slammed Ariana's resume onto the table. Instead, she was insulted, disrespected, judged on sight. A murmur rippled across the room. Linda stumbled. Sir, I didn't know if I had known." "That's the problem," Henry cut in sharply. "You treat people based on who you think they are, not who they truly are." Ariana stepped forward gently. "Dad, it's okay." "No," he said firmly. "It's not." Then he looked at the board. "You have all seen our diversity reports, our public statements, our newsletters. But this," he pointed to the resume, "this is a real state of things." Linda's lip quivered. "Sir, please, I made a mistake." "No," he said. "You made a choice." Henry turned to the board. "As of today, Linda Harrow is suspended pending an internal investigation into discriminatory hiring practices." Linda gasped. "Suspended? You can't." "I just did," he said. "And furthermore," he placed a hand on Ariana's shoulder, "Ariana will begin her role as junior data analyst immediately, under the supervision of our chief data officer, not HR." A round of applause broke out from half the room. The other half looked at Linda with regret and discomfort. Linda tried one last time. "Sir, Mr. Cole, please, I've been here 12 years. You can't replace experience overnight." Henry nodded. "You're right. Experience is valuable." Then he looked at Ariana. "But character is priceless." Security gently guided Linda out of the room. This time, they weren't awkward. They were relieved. As the doors closed behind her, the room let out a breath. Justice wasn't loud. Justice wasn't violent. Justice just stood there, calm, quiet, undeniable. Ariana began her new job that same afternoon. Not because she was a CEO's daughter, but because she was qualified. More than qualified. Her co-workers welcomed her warmly, some apologetically, others gratefully, and word of what happened spread through the building like wildfire. Not as gossip, but as a reminder that the people we underestimate, the people we dismiss, the people we look down on, may be carrying greatness we cannot see. Sometimes a person you're ignoring is the very person you should respect the most. Sometimes the person you're trying to push out is the one who will change everything. And sometimes the person you judge by first impression is the person who will end up signing your paycheck. Never judge a book by its cover. Never judge a person by your prejudice. Because destiny has a way of speaking for itself. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more powerful stories of justice, dignity,